Hi everyone, and a warm welcome to this week's episode of the Low Season Traveller Insider Guides. I'm Jed Brown, your host for this week's episode, and today we're heading over to Dubai, which has its low season from May through September. Now, I was in Dubai for the Arabian Travel Market, a gathering of the travel industry's leaders from all across the Middle East and beyond, and I was keen to experience one of the newest properties on the Palm, the Taj Exotica Resort and Spa. Taj have been superb advocates and supporters of low season travel, and we've worked closely with many of their properties recently, as many of you will know. The Taj Exotica is different from the other properties we've featured recently, in that it's very clearly a leisure-focused property with the same emphasis on incredible service, or as Taj put it, Taj-ness. I caught up with Director of Sales and Marketing, Dorsai Khaghani, to learn more about this exceptional property. Enjoy. Dorsai, you are most welcome to the Low Season Traveller Insider Guides podcast. Great to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Very excited.
I should hope so too, Dorsai. I should hope so too. I've been staying here at your wonderful property at the Taj Exotica Resort and Spa here on the Palm in Dubai for the past 3 days now. And it's been an incredible experience, I must say. All of the team here are superb and have been looking after me very, very well. But I suppose, first of all, for our listeners, what I'd like to understand is what's the whole concept behind this particular property and Taj Exotica, because it's different from other Taj, right?
Correct. So thank you so much for having me, and very glad to hear that you've enjoyed your stay. And so we've officially opened our doors 1st of March last year, so we celebrated just our 1 year anniversary. And when I came on board, I had the same question. So what is it so different? What's the concept of Taj Exotica? And what is the difference between a Taj and a Taj Exotica? So basically we have 3 Taj Exotica. We are the 4th addition to the family of Exotica. So we have a Taj Exotica in Goa, we have one in Maldives, we have one in Andaman, and we are the 4th Taj Exotica worldwide. Yeah. So that was already very special because I truly believe that as an Exotica brand, we just don't open hotels, we open destination. So where we go and where we open that property should be very unique, should be very special as a destination and the location. And then obviously the concept was more about having a resort feel, because we have 2 other Taj properties as well in Dubai, but with a different look and feel. So the Taj Exotica was mainly to just bring that resort feel to the destination, and where to do it other than the Palm Jumeirah, which is already very unique as well.
It's a wonderful location, I must admit. So you were saying there's 3 other Taj Exoticas as well. This is the
4th.
This is the 4th one. So this, and you were saying there's another 2 Taj properties in Dubai already. Is it fair to say that this one is more towards closer to a pure leisure?
Correct. So this is quite a leisure destination because again it's a beach destination. It's quite different than when you're in a city, and we have 2 wonderful properties, but we kind of cater to different clienteles. They're looking for different things. So I think we really see that response already within a year, especially in the leisure market.
And tell us a little bit about obviously you've done very well this past year, I believe. A lot of guests, indeed there are a lot of guests right now here at the resort. Why do they come? What specifically is it that they're coming for? We know they come for leisure, but what is there to do when people get here? Tell us some of the facilities for people who might not be aware.
So I don't want to stay in the box of we have great facilities and great rooms, because I think everybody says that, and to be fair,
but you do have great rooms, I must admit.
I'm going to touch on that. Yeah. But Dubai is a very competitive market, and I think on the Palm there are many brands that are existing at the moment, and there have been some few openings as well. But I think what makes us different is that Indian hospitality, we call it Taj-ness, is what we do and what we make the guest feel. because luxury, I believe after the COVID period, the definition of luxury is no longer how beautiful the property is what you make people feel from inside. So when you come on holiday, and when you see the rituals that we have from the time you arrive, the welcome ritual, and then we have the afternoon ritual and the evening ritual. So throughout your journey of your stay, you feel that you interact with our teams, with our associates, and you understand that culture, the Indian culture, the Indian touch that we have, which is very unique to us. And I can say that no other hospitality group at this stage do offer the same. So I think, yes, the resort has brilliant facilities. We have an amazing beach. We have an amazing pool, longest pool on the East Crescent, actually, which is amazing. We have great facilities for families, kids club, teen activities, but what makes us stand out is what we make the guest feel from inside. And we've wanted to come up with a positioning statement when we opened that was not starting with, we are a luxury hotel. We wanted that statement to also make people feel, oh wow, I get why I should go there. So we came up with an island oasis where Exotic is celebrated. So celebration can be through the rituals that we do for them. Celebration can be, we do a lot of weddings. We are very known for that. And the sense of discoveries where you discover our amazing fine dining Indian outlet, when you discover a different spice, different flavor. So that's something that I think in the narratives of what we have managed to give is very, very unique.
I love that. It's I think it's really interesting because, as you sort of pointed out there, and I'm kind of reminded at times of what it's like in the other side of the world, in Las Vegas. You know, they have a large amount of really high-end hotels, and I always question, you know, how do you differentiate? You know, it's got to be really tough because, you know, they're all beautiful.
Correct.
And it's how you sort of you differentiate from that. And I will say, so I've been privileged enough the past 10 days. I've actually stayed in a few Taj properties in India as well before coming over here to Dubai, and that Taj-ness, it does come across, and we've recorded a few podcasts with the GMs in some of the other hotels, the Rambagh Palace, the Taj Mahal Palace in Delhi, and Taj-ness was mentioned quite a bit. But it is that service. You know, I noted when I first arrived at this property, everybody called you by your name, which I just...
It's just amazing.
But it makes you feel special. Genuinely, I'm walking around thinking, I feel like I'm a bit of a rock star here. Everybody seems to know me, which just makes me feel like I belong as well.
Correct.
But then, you know, we have this ritual. It's like an oil lamp sort of tea light ritual,
correct.
which is absolutely lovely. Obviously, you get a cold towel and a drink, and then brought straight up to, you know, your room or suite to check in, which I thought was fabulous as well. But it's that from the very get go, I felt like I was famous. I felt like I was famous, and that's you know, when you were sort of saying about that feeling, that's really special. But then you also do a number of other, you know, little touches as well. You know, when I got into the room, there was a nice little note welcoming me.
Correct.
And there was some sweet treats, which were lovely, by the way. There was dates and bits and pieces like that. And actually, I shared that on LinkedIn, and I was saying, you know, these little touches.
They really matter.
It makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. And I think what we've managed, obviously, you've touched on what we do in India. What we've done here, we've also mixed a little bit that traditions with understanding that obviously we're in Dubai, so we do offer the dates and things that represents also the UAE and the culture here.
Yeah.
So in our the rituals that we do in the evening, we do have that bukhur, which represents the tradition that is happening in this the UAE culture, mixed with obviously the lamp. So we do that very specifically depending on where the hotel is located around the world, which is again makes it also more special.
It does, and it's that wonderful marriage that you've managed to do. And we were talking about this earlier on. about sort of marrying that Indian culture with the Middle
The
Eastern
local
culture.
and
But
Middle Eastern.
they go together pretty well,
Very well,
actually, pretty
very
seamlessly.
well, very well. And I think we see that because we see a lot of locals do come to our property. They love the Indian cuisine. They love the Indian traditions, and because it's very special. And I think why it's special, because it's focused on emotions rather than just make things look good or pretty from outside. It just makes you feel, it touch all your senses basically, so it just puts that smile on your face.
I love that. When I've been looking around the property and seeing the different facilities, so I should point out that I've had an amazing Indian meal in Vark,
Wow.
your Indian restaurant, which is absolutely fabulous. I've also obviously I've had my breakfast at the name of the
Home Kitchen.
Home
Yeah.
Kitchen, thank you very much, which has probably got one of the greatest arrays of breakfast foods that you could possibly have. And then you have this Alice in Wonderland themed
Yeah, Roaring Rabbit.
Roaring Rabbit as well, which again was absolutely fabulous. But you also you cater very well, I think, to families, and that to me has been quite noticeable. You have a kids club which is called
Popsicle, yes.
Popsicle. Tell us a little bit about the facilities that you have for kids and tweens, I should say.
Yeah, sure. So we wanted to really look into what we can do for different age group, because we could see that the properties that are, around us, different hotels, they obviously do have a kids club. But again, we wanted to, how do we make that kids club different? So we came up with a concept of Popsicle, because Popsicle makes kids happy, it's colorful, so the design, the logo represent that. And we try to bring a lot of activities that are mindfulness for kids. So we use sustainability in a way that if they're having popsicles, we use those sticks in order to do arts and crafts.
Nice. Yep.
And we do a lot of activation with our associates that do work there. And we just really want them to feel that they don't want to leave a kids club. And if as a happy kid, happy parents, so they can have a good holiday because the kids are entertained. So that's for that age group of obviously younger ones. And for the teens and the elder children, obviously they can go to the kids club. So what could we do for them? So we came up with a concept of a game room. So game room is actually, we see a lot of families go there with their children because it's something that you can do together in a resort. So we have different games there, they interact and they have something to do as well. So that's basically has been very well received as well by everyone. And we have obviously great pool facility, water sport activities, and we have a mini golf.
Yes.
So that's another thing which it's amazing because you need to stay at least 7 nights in order to experience everything. So we have a little putting green that they go there and they just play, and different recreational activities. So for families it's perfect because we cater to everyone, different age group, and that's what we do.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about, obviously we're Low Season Traveller, and we focus mainly on promoting, educating and inspiring people to consider travelling in the low seasons, which is usually a more responsible and, I dare say, sustainable time to travel to destinations. The low seasons for Dubai tends to be the summer months.
The summer months, yes.
When it's very hot. What kind of people typically come during those summer months on leisure?
So I honestly can say that summer is no longer really low season.
Wow.
Because sometimes what happens is the summertime, the hotels become more affordable. So you just attract different clientele, and you attract those who, think now obviously they will be able to afford staying in a luxury property. And summer it is quite busy. The destination gets busy, and Dubai always finds a way, the shopping festival, the activations they have to attract travelers. So that already helps a lot. And I think when you have a resort and you have great facilities, then you really don't need to step out. So the heat will no longer be a problem because you are well entertained at the resort. You have all the things you need, And as a resort, we do very well even in the low season, just because we have enough facilities to entertain the families indoor.
I love that. I was speaking to Amruta before. We were having a discussion on this, and for the listeners, you should know that Amruta is also here in the room as well. And for our viewers, you can't see Amruta, but she's behind the camera there. She's being very well behaved and quiet at the moment. But we were just talking about how in the Maldives, one of the advantages in the Maldives is you don't feel a pressure to do anything else, because you're on this very small island, and honestly there's nothing else really to do. Correct. Apart from the diving and the staying on the resort. Therefore you have this kind of guilt-free, I don't feel like I should be going out there and seeing the culture or the heritage, because with respect to the Maldives, I know there is culture and heritage, but it's not immediately apparent on each of those individual islands. And then we started thinking, well, actually, because it is very, very hot during the Dubai summer. So then started thinking, is that a really great opportunity to stay in the resort and actually not feel guilty that you should be going out into the desert and experience all that, because really you can't. It's too hot.
It's too hot.
So you can have this guilt-free, almost forced relaxation in the summer months. Is that fair?
Yes, because you can fully indulge, and I think you can. Sometimes when we get a peak season travelers, I mean, they want to discover Dubai very quickly. They want to go out in. And sometimes because we have a lot of facilities and different outlets, they don't get a chance to do everything. We're happy because they come back again. But obviously during summer, what happens is they really get a chance to dine around different outlets, to discover different things. And as you said, no pressure. So they just relax. And obviously we do have shuttle services to the malls, so we do provide that. So if they want to go for shopping, it's an easy access for them, they can go. And it's pretty much a very relaxing holiday, which I think it's important.
It's what people want, isn't it? Typically when people come for, during the summer at the moment, and families in particular, because it's a good opportunity for them to experience low season travel in the summer. If they do go off site, away from the hotel, what kind of activities do they typically do? Is it tend to be the indoor activities?
So I think majority is indoor, because a lot of winter activations in Dubai, like Global Village or what have you, are not active during summer. But because now there are a lot of indoor facilities that are there. We have a new museum that has recently opened, Museum of the Future, that has been very, very popular. And I think that's one thing that, again, because we have an excellent concierge team, they kind of cater and they inform the guests, because what happens is sometimes at a hotel level you need to have the concierge that guides the guest. What can you do in summer, winter? So one of the initiatives that we have done is we created an in-house newsletter. So this in-house newsletter goes to all the rooms, and we change that every month depending on the weather, what's happening in Dubai. So there is a section dedicated in what you can do in Dubai during that season. So we feature if there is something that happening and it's new, it's a show that you can go and watch, we feature it there. And I think the moment you have that, then you educate the guests that actually there are plenty of things that can be done indoor, and Dubai is always surprising everyone with things that are coming up every other season.
There's this show, isn't it? Is it La Perle?
La Perle is incredible.
Amazing.
I highly recommend it. It's quite fantastic.
I've got to do that next time. But I find it really interesting, because sometimes people that haven't been to Dubai in the summer, they say, who would want to go to Dubai in the summer? It's too hot. Yet we know so many Brits in particular they go to Las Vegas every summer.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's the middle of the desert.
Like
that's crazy heat. I mean, I've been to Vegas in the summer, and that's crazy heat.
That's crazy.
But nobody thinks twice about it. And for some reason, they seem to have Dubai in a different camp somehow. And I'm like, well, no. You still have the likes of La Perle, which sounds to me like it's a bit like is it Cirque du Soleil?
Correct. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can easily have a 6-7 night stay, and I can guarantee that you'll have different things to do every night.
Yeah.
And you will not feel the heat because you have transportation, you go to the venue is cool, and even our pool is heated according to
temperature
weather.
control.
Yes,
Of course.
if it's cold, we heat up the pool. If it's hot, so even if you're in the resort, even if you are swimming, if you're even outside, you don't really feel it as much. So I think that's a bit of a wrong perception.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think that's why slowly things are changing, and our low season is becoming less low season.
Yeah, very good. I need to come over myself in August and check it out.
Definitely.
Before I let you go, I'm conscious of time. I know that the Taj hotels do take their role in sustainability very seriously. Can you give us a little bit of an outline as to what Taj Group is doing in terms of sustainability?
So I think on the hotel level, we are very conscious of obviously usage of plastic and what we do with with the water, with electricity, with everything across the resort itself. And I think that's one thing that has been on the list and has been very, very important for us at the hotel level. And we do have other plans that it will be announced soon on what we're doing at the hotel level to even make things better. But I think it as a brand and as a hotel, it's very, very, very important for us, and it has been part of the DNA of our brand for long. And I can only speak of the hotel level, but at the hotel level also we take it very seriously. So we have quite exciting plans as well that how we can take it to another level.
Love that, and I notice as well in the elevators. You also have a copy of a brief copy of your sustainability
Correct.
policy shown in the elevators
Correct.
as well, which I think is really good, just to make people aware. We are considering this.
Correct.
And we are taking it into account on everything that we do.
Definitely.
Super. Dorsai, on that note, we are sadly out of time. I want to thank you so much, not only for taking the time to speak with me today, but also for your hospitality and allowing me to experience this fabulous property for myself.
You're most welcome.
And I would absolutely encourage everybody out there to consider coming in the low season. I would find it hard to believe that you couldn't have an exceptional time, and you will feel great and feel like a superstar as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Means a lot. And thank you for doing this podcast. I think it's very important to create awareness that what can actually happen in low season. They're not so bad. They're good things to discover as well. And then looking forward to welcoming you back soon.
Thanks, Dorsai.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it. And you can learn more about this fabulous property by visiting tajhotels.com. If you're considering Dubai during the low season summer months, I would urge you not to be deterred by the heat. A stay in the Taj Exotica with its climate-controlled pool and outstanding facilities, coupled with service levels which I have quite honestly rarely experienced before, you're sure to have an incredible experience which will last long in the memory. And of course, the prices are approximately 40% lower than during the other times of the year. What an amazing opportunity to experience the height of service at a truly great price. But that's our show for this week. Thanks as always for your company, and if you enjoyed the podcast, please do leave us a positive rating and review on your podcast app, and also don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn to be the first to hear our latest low season stories, articles and guides. But for now, have a great week wherever you are, and remember that travel is always better and fairer for the planet, the local communities and you the travellers when it's without the crowds.